What is going on out there, Junkies? It's your boy Ken Sure. We're back with another great episode of Culture Junkies Live. This week, we're going to be talking about the Harley Quinn trailer. Oh, excuse me, the Birds of Prey trailer that dropped yesterday. We're also going to be talking about some of the early reviews and takes from the Joker, as well as a few other things that are going on out in the world of geekery. So joining me on the show today right now is my boys GQ and the Great Daddy Coochie. What's up, fellas?
Hey. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to you.
Yeah, how's everyone doing out there in the ether tonight?
Yeah, Tony Young is checking in. He's in right on time. So he's doing good. Everybody have an awesome week.
So far so good.
Yeah. Anything new happen? Any new acquisitions to the collection to speak of?
I started playing Metroid Other M. I was supposed to start that one 2 months ago.
Is that the one? Which one? Refresh my memory. Which one was the other?
It was made by what's the Team Ninja? I think made it.
Yeah, Team Ninja did that one.
Yeah, and a lot of people didn't like it because it had too much exposition. And Samus talked first time she talked, first time that it had cutscenes in any friggin' Metroid, and it was like, oh, she's too melancholy. And I was like, okay, so she's supposed to be happy? How's she supposed to be? Like seriously, like a friggin' bouncing off the wall type character. That doesn't seem like it'd be Samus.
So apparently, she's probably supposed to be like Link, where she just shows up and she doesn't say anything. She's just there, right?
It seems like, I mean, according for people, their opinions of it, a lot of people say that's the least favorite Metroid from this website called How Long to Beat, which is a very handy website. It tells you how long it would take for you to beat a game, complete a game, or and do all the DLC and whatnot. It's supposedly only a 9-hour game, so that's probably the shortest of all the Metroid games. But I'm fine with that because I got so many other games I want to play. I don't need to be spending 20. I mean, I spent 20 plus hours on Bloodstained. It was great, but that was the reason why I didn't start Metroid Other M like I was supposed to.
Okay.
But what you call it? And so far, I started the game up a few years ago. It might have been more than 10 years ago. I don't really remember, to tell you the truth. And the save, of course, is still there because I still got my Wii. But and it took me a while to refresh the controls because I was like, I got to a point. I was like, what the hell am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to freaking use my missiles. How the hell you use your missiles? How the hell you use your missiles? You got to point the Wiimote at the screen in order to use the missiles. And I was like, it took me a while to figure that out. But other than that, everything, it feels like a Zelda game. I mean, not Zelda. It feels like a Metroid game to me, except for it's not just on a 2D plane. It's kind of like a 2.5D, kind of.
So yeah, I think I played that game like for 5 minutes and then put it down.
5 minutes. Wait a minute. You played a Wii? Like that Wii didn't seem to be like. First it was Nintendo. Like Nintendo's falling off. I didn't think
Nintendo fell off completely in the middle of the Wii's lifespan. Not so much at the beginning. The beginning, the Wii was actually pretty good. Then they decided to open it up to shovelware.
Yeah, that's true.
That shovelware is
very true.
Off. There's this one group of games made by this company. I wish I could tell. One of the games is called Super Ninja Gingerbread Man, Super Ninja Gingerbread Man, right? This company who made that
Ninja Gingerbread Man.
Yeah, it's like a terrible game. Yeah, seriously. But when I say series of games, it's because the company that made it just made like 4 or 5 games. It's the exact same engine, exact same game. They just changed how like the stages and the character look, but it's like exactly the same. And like that's what they call shovelware. It's like, oh, just program it once and change the textures, and then it becomes a new game, and they just resell it multiple times. I'm like, that's terrible. What the hell's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, I don't know, but there was a couple of interesting news tidbits that kind of happened today. Like one being the announcement that the Sony Entertainment president stepped down. He had been with the company since 1987.
Oh wow!
And honestly, one of the things that I read was that there's been a string of higher ups at Sony that have left. Of course, Jack Trainer, who was overheading PlayStation, had departed the company like a couple of years back. Some of the other really prominent members of some of the higher ups of Sony seem to be leaving. So is this just a normal thing, or what's going on here, you guys think?
Well, shit, you said 1987 has been a part. For me, it's probably just time to retire. If I was working for a company for friggin' 30 some odd years, I'd be like, you know what? I think it's about time that I take the money that I've earned and not work anymore and just enjoy life. That to me, I don't think there's anything more than that. This guy was ready to go. 30 years?
Not only that, yeah. I mean, if you've been like you said, he was CEO for that long, or he had been with the company for that long?
He had only recently been CEO. I think he was named CEO. Let me see if I can find it.
Either way it goes, 30 years, and then you also become a CEO. He's decided to pull the cord on that golden parachute right there.
Yeah. And Keon Long was asking, Kyle Sarai left too, didn't he? Yeah, I mean, Kyle Sarai left not too long ago as well. He's another one that left. He was named the chairman of SIE Worldwide Studios in 2016. So he hasn't really been in the role that long.
Yeah, he golden parachuted.
Yeah. So I mean, but as Dido said, he's been with the company for almost 30 years, and I'm sure that wasn't his first job. So, over 30 years, really, when you think about it, since 1987. So really, he's been there for 33 years. That's more than long enough. That's a long career, to be at one spot. So there's that. But another interesting thing that kind of came out and made news. I don't really have too many graphics for it, and I'm kind of trying to wait for Fallen Marvel to show up, because he had a couple of these things that he wanted to talk about. But one of the things that he wanted to bring up was kind of some new things that are going in Geek Swag. So Michael B. Jordan kind of dropped this trailer the other day, or yesterday, unveiling his collaboration with Coach, where he's creating Naruto inspired stuff, like, and like there's a t-shirt I think I saw that was like one of the cheapest things that's available. It's like $90.
So he started a collaboration with Coach, one of the most expensive purse brands in the world.
Yes.
I get I get it, but at the same time, it's like that's a very odd pairing in my mind.
How so?
Fans usually are probably on the younger side of the spectrum. Yes, there are older Naruto fans as well, but I can just harken back to the days of being a youngin and imagining asking for a $90 Naruto shirt.
I love how he says I can harken back to the days of being a youngin. I love that. That's awesome.
It's the truth, though. But I can imagine that backhand coming swift and fast if you ask for something like a $90 T-shirt that you're going to outgrow. That's an odd pairing in my mind.
It is a weird pairing. What do you guys think out there, Junkies? Are you gonna pony up and get scratch some pennies together to get some Coach swag? Like, let me go and take a look at it. Actually, Tony Young put it best. He was like, "It's the anime Hawaiian shirt second coming." Dude, we used to have a bunch of them shirts back in the day.
Yeah, but at least those were reasonably priced.
They were like what, $20, $25 a pop?
20 to 30 at the most, depending on like the quality of the shirt. But $90 for a t-shirt?
Hey, it might be a worthy investment, because my wife was showing me something about this guy who spends too much money. And one of the things that he was spending his money on were freaking Hermes purses. Now, I know Coach is not Hermes.
Now, come on now. For real?
You can resell that stuff. And apparently the resale value goes up. So Maybe
I get that, but like, okay, the reason Coach purses go up because it's the quality of the leather, it's the design of the purse, blah blah blah. The shirt, if it's just a regular T-shirt that just happens to have a Coach tag in it, that's to me that's a. I'm not granted people still buy old gym shoes and whatnot. So I mean there is a possibility there, but the T-shirt's going to have to be made differently than the standard T-shirt.
Like, check it out, right?
The knockoff market is coming. It's probably
absolutely
already there.
Absolutely. So all right, so y'all remember I forget what they used to call them back in the day, but the little pouches that they used to wear. The Rock was wearing one in one
fanny
of his
pack.
The fanny pack. Okay, so Coach, there's a Coach Cross Michael B. Jordan belt bag, which we all know is just a fanny pack. It's $295, right? $295, and it's got the Mangekyo Sharingan on the front. $295.
That might gain value just because of the fact that it's very close to being a purse. But
right.
the shirts, I don't know. I don't know about that.
$295 for that one, and it says it's almost gone already. So somebody's buying it.
Again, people will buy it.
Like,
they will always say there is a market out there for every single thing you can come up with. So
and there's another T-shirt with the Sannin, which is Tsunade, Orochimaru, and Jiraiya. It's a white shirt and it's $95. There's gym shoes that are $295. There's two different denim jackets. There's a black one, which is kind of sweet, and it's got Itachi on the back. It looks dope. $795 though. $795 for a denim jacket.
Won't see me buying it.
Right. There's a boot. There's some Urban Hiker boots for $325. He's got. I mean, there's quite a bit of a collection here. I mean, it's pretty varied. There's a hand purse.
To buy it, go ahead and buy it.
There's a hand purse for $195 on there. Is Mike Oliver's like, is the fanny pack loaded with Wi-Fi? No, man, it is not. Like, some of the stuff looks kind of good. There's a hoodie. There's a nylon hoodie for $295. But man, it's like, other than the status and for the name brand of Coach, I don't know if I can justify this purchase, right? I don't know if I can do it.
I know I can't justify that purchase at all because
GQ, you got disposable income like that. Would you do it? Would you do it? Even if it's just one? Even if it's a denim jacket, would you rock a denim jacket, man? I can't see him in a no denim jacket. I can't.
Yeah. So
he walked away. I have to ask him when he come back, but I can't see him doing it. But besides Michael B. Jordan and Coach collaboration, Will Smith came out today and said he's putting out a Bel Air Athletics collection of clothes based off of his character Will playing when he was attending Bel Air Prep with Carlton. So it's the same type of I don't even know what you call it, chartreuse looking
athletics line.
Yeah, it's like an athletics. I don't know if it's themed clothing. I don't know if it's a complete athletic line, but it's a whole collection. Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's something out there for everybody because there's got people who are fans of stuff and they want to wear it. Everybody, it's just like wearing a T-shirt or something. Mm-hmm. So people who are fans of Fresh Prince of Bel Air and they want to wear that. So I don't particularly know any people that are like that much of a fan of Fresh Prince of Bel Air. But
it looks kind of dope. I mean, they might do it. Wait a minute. So you got a paisley line track jacket and that's inspired by the school blazer that he wore on the show. Uh-huh. And that goes for $95. And it'll be cost you oh wow, look at it. Oh, he's got it. He broke it out. Oh, he broke it out. Look at him.
Since Tony Young decided he wanted to bring these up,
right. Which one is that? I forget which one is that.
I had every different. I never got a particular anime one. Like I remember they had the Dragon Ball ones that came out. I always got the ones that were just kind of like hybrid. Like they were just like, okay, they were Asian inspired.
Right. So the one that I always had that I was proud of, I had a Storm Shadow one. That was pretty dope.
I remember that one.
Yeah, you remember that one? I had a Storm Shadow one. I think that was the only one that I bought. The other ones, like everybody was wearing the Dragon Ball ones, and I ain't feel like buying a Dragon Ball one, because I felt like that would have just been that wouldn't have been unique enough for me. I wanted to have one that was just completely different. But having a Storm Shadow one with the Cobra logo on it, yeah, I had to get that one.
You know what the funny thing was, though? Yeah. The funny thing was, back when I used to work at Costco, I used to wear these all the time.
Wait, you could wear them? You can wear them on the job? Oh, wait, you were working the floor, right?
Huh? Yeah, I was working. I was working as a supervisor, so I was like. And the funny thing is, they used to have, and I know Dido remembers this, they had the blue vest that you had to wear as a supervisor. So it always clashed with what I was like, so I was so glad when they suddenly were like, okay, supervisors don't have to wear that vest no more. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
No, I know they're back now. But as soon as they got rid of that vest, boy, I was like, yep, clip my little name badge right in the middle of the shirt. It was on. I was like, okay. Yeah, but these shirts were. They were great. It was a movement.
Yes, it was a movement. Everybody, like every nerd in the country, was wearing these.
Take it back because I didn't. I had never owned one. Never had one.
But see, but you didn't have much in the way of disposable income back when these.
No, I had way more disposable income back then. Shoot, dude, I wasn't married. I don't have kids. I was freaking.
You still don't have kids. What are you talking about?
That's
still
true.
Don't have kids. What are you talking about?
Actually, I got old kids. No. No, I don't have any kids, but I have a lot more, bills than I had when I was in my early 20s.
But I think what it was is you were more of a t-shirt guy.
Yep, I was always a t-shirt, jeans, t-shirt, shorts. Yep. That's how I portrayed my nerds. What was that? The game. It's the mini masks of the Zelda.
Yeah, I would wear these with like dress pants all the time. Yeah, I would never you never saw me wear this with jeans.
Oh no! Even though we had a friend who did.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So the current thing that we're talking about, GQ, you walked away, but I was bringing up that the other collaboration that was kind of announced, or not even really announced, is not even really a collaboration, is that Will Smith brought out this Fresh Prince of Bel-Air themed apparel. Where it's going to be like Fresh Prince tie-dye t-shirt. There's a $200 gym bag. There's a Bel Air Athletics t-shirt that he's bringing out. Remember that Paisley? Remember that jacket that he used to wear, the school blazer that was Paisley? Yeah. So there's a track jacket that they have selling for $95 to get the track jacket that's just like that. But there's for an extra $80, you can get the matching pants. So you got disposable income like that. Were you a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air fan like that? I mean, probably not, but would you be wearing or caught dead wearing this stuff, wearing Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Me personally, no. I could see the appeal of it because again, everything that's old is new again.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I could see the appeal, but yeah, realistically, no, I wouldn't. Looking at what Tony Young is saying, talking about people walking through the mall pointing at each other wearing these shirts, and telling where they got it. Hey, funny thing is though, all of my shirts like this, I haven't bought any of them in Michigan. I never bought any of these in Michigan. I actually bought most of these out when I was out of town. So I literally had the true, you can't find this one here because I never bought them in this state. So yeah, that was usually my excuse. It's like, either near Anime Central or whatever, you'd be, for Chicago, or if I was in LA at any point in time, I'd look for these. But yeah, I'd never bought any of mine in the state of Michigan.
Oh yeah, the best place to get those was always at the conventions, like because they were in abundance. Like even at Motor City, back like before they kind of went out of style. I remember Styling Online used to have just racks of them things. Like,
the funny thing is, though, the style didn't really leave. It's still here. These are essentially the kind of the birth of the maxi print T-shirt. Because like the maxi print T-shirt, you know, the full all over design, it came from these.
Yeah, that's true.
So these basically still are around. You just don't see them as often because T-shirts again are more of a more popular thing and are easier to make than a button up.
Right. Oh man. Yeah. So I miss those. I mean, graphic tees are great, but part of me kind of misses those shirts. Like I don't have my Storm Shadow shirt anymore. I think I either sent it to Goodwill or something like that, or got lost in the midst of a move or something like that. I wish I still had it, but I also had a Spider-Man one. That's right, I did have a Spider-Man one too. But yeah, I kind of miss those. Those were some good times. Like back before, you know, genre culture had kind of exploded and really started to become super mainstream. But so guys, I wanted to kind of start the show off with some levity, like kind of more like what we already did. So Mega Sean shared in the group earlier today a breakdown, a regional breakdown of the favorite movie theater candy to eat while you're at the movies. Now, we had some pretty crazy entries, like how would anybody ever have Necco wafers as their favorite movie theater candy, right? Like that just doesn't make any sense at all. To have Necco wafers as, you know, movie theater candy. M&Ms, Twizzlers, you know, Dots, I can see those types of things, but Necco wafers, I don't think so. So anyway, I kind of want to break down some of them. Like here in Michigan, the favorite movie candy by according to unofficially according to Walmart and Target, probably based on sales, is Good and Plenty's. Like Good and
that
Plenty's,
shit is just gross, yo.
It's disgusting, dude.
Oh my god.
Good and Plenty's, like what? That's old people. That's old people stuff. Good and Plenty's.
Kid never touched it.
Yeah, Good and Plenty's was garbage. Here's the other funny thing about that poll. You said it's done by who? Walmart and Target?
Walmart and Target. Social media, Walmart and Target.
A lot of people are smuggling in their candy there. you would think it'd be the movie theaters that would be putting this information out, not Walmart and Target.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you think about it though, the movie theaters are selling super overpriced candy. Oh, of course. So ain't nobody gonna buy that there.
The funniest thing is there's a movie theater out here. It just recently got hooked into the Imagine chain. But for the longest, you know, it was just one of those, just kind of almost not so much a dollar show, but like, you know, just a regular theater. Y'all know which one I'm talking about. And it's got a Dollar Tree and a Target right next to it. And it's just like, they got an entire, you know, the Dollar Tree. They got all the exact same candy y'all probably came down here and bought. And selling for $5-6.
Yeah.
Like that, I could just go to the Dollar Tree myself and bring that whole thing of Milk Duds in my pocket. Are you crazy?
Right.
So yeah.
The funniest entry, right, is Wisconsin. And I know they must be spoofing because they put Wisconsin as saying their favorite movie theater candy was Kraft cheese slices.
But who the fuck goes to the theater to eat cheese slices?
But it's Wisconsin, man. You know, the cheeseheads of Wisconsin. Come on, man.
I can see maybe string cheese, but cheese slices, man.
Yeah, cheese slices.
Open up cheese
I'm sure that
slices
was a joke.
Theater. Pick them up, toss them out, like get the fuck out of here.
Especially how loud them rappers are. But Mike Oliver is saying his favorite movie food is Subway foot long and
that $5 foot long and a 5-liter Diet Coke. Dude, how do you make it through the movie if you're drinking 5 liters of Diet Coke? Dude, are you kidding me? Your bladder must be strong.
5 liters. He might have meant something else, but
I don't know. 5 liters, that's a lot, bro.
When Southfield used to have the Tubbies, man.
Oh, the Tubbies in there, and
the movie.
Dude, that used to piss me off so bad. Like, come on, man. How do you have this stuff in the movie theater and you can't take it in there? It's like remember, like when they first opened, they had a Johnny Rockets in there. They had
what else they had? Sweets.
Yep, they had real sweets.
That ice cream hookup.
And they wouldn't let you take it in there. Like, what is that?
I'm like, dude, like, first of all, ice cream melts fast, so it's just like I just paid $30 for this ice cream.
I'm taking it where I want to take it.
Right. I'm like, this is ridiculous, man. I remember the first time I went to the Star for a date. That was the most expensive. I was just like, hold on, I could have just went to Olive Garden or some other restaurant for what I just paid for this concession food, man. This is crazy.
For real, for that overpriced.
I think it was like 2 pops, some chicken wings, and maybe some candy, or might have
don't say it. Let me try and ballpark how much you paid for it. $35.
Pretty close. It was 40. Yeah. I'm like, this is stupid, man. Like,
it is stupid.
And not only that, now granted, the movie prices weren't that expensive back then.
Right.
They were like, closer to like the $7 range, somewhere in that range. But I was like, $40 for basically snack food. I'm like, I could have easily gone to Olive Garden and got the same. Yeah. So,
Paula Marvel, how much is the candy or whatever at the movie theaters? Is this like universal? Do you shop at a Dollar Tree or Target or something like that, getting your candy when you get ready to go to the movies? You and your other half, better half.
Honestly, I'd try to hit up a Family Dollar, a gas station or something before hitting the movie theater up. Now, depending on which theater I go to, sometimes they have decent deals on snack bundles. So sometimes, like the Goodrich theaters are kind of decent with that, and the Imagine theaters aren't too bad, but a lot of the time I try to stock up before hitting the movie theater up, because again, the same thing there I could probably buy like at the store for like 70% less. I mean, it's like I understand that I understand the theater chains got to make their money too, but I mean, I don't know. Like I know if I mess around to go see a movie at AMC, I'm definitely not buying them now.
So the thing though, how much are the snack bundles though?
Right.
I think what comes in them.
If I remember correctly, I know like the IMAX one, they have like a large bundle. It's like two large popcorns and like one large soda. It's like a thing or whatever. I think it's like, I want to say it's somewhere like 13.
Damn, that's pretty good.
14. So like
that's actually pretty good.
That's what I said. For IMAX, it's not bad. Like they actually have
that's 2 popcorns and a couple of pops for $13. That's pretty damn good.
Well, just one
for a movie theater.
But it's one large pop, but it's like 2.
Oh, 2 popcorns, 1 large pop. Oh, that's like the perfect date. Yeah. Like bundle. Yeah. Like y'all each get your own popcorn.
Bundle, like they have some decent bundles. Like I said, like if I'm going to that one, I'd be more considerate of like buying stuff from there.
Wait a minute. 2 popcorns and 1 pop?
Yeah, so they got to split the pop, No. Yeah, they got to split the pop.
Split the popcorn, then split the pop.
I feel you on that. I do.
That's so on that. Backwards, because they gonna put like 35. No, I'm sorry, I take that back. They
so
put 80% ice in that thing,
right?
And give you like 4 drops of pop. Wait. I'm just saying.
Right. All right, so
you ain't getting half of the pop. Sorry.
All right, so let's break down some of this chart and see how bad it is. Obviously, we said Good and Plenty's in Michigan is the favorite. Ohio is Lemon Heads. Indiana is Milk Duds. What is that? Sixlets in Illinois.
Indiana is Milk Duds.
Milk Duds. That's what I see. Milk Duds, my friend. Milk Duds.
Milk Duds is more my favorite, so I don't know how.
Yeah, I love Milk Duds. Milk Duds are great.
Good and Plenty.
Right. Let's see. Kansas has got Bit O' Honeys. Like really? Like these seem like old people stuff.
All of this stuff is old.
Right, for real. Let's see. West Virginia, M&M's. Let's see. North Carolina, Tootsie Roll. South Carolina, Werther's Originals. Okay. Florida's Dum Dums. Like what? Dum Dums? Wait, the little lollipops? Dum Dums? But Florida's full of Dum Dums anyway. So I guess that's.
Do those even qualify as a snack?
I guess. I guess they do. Louisiana Tootsie Rolls, Georgia candy corn, candy corn. Candy corn, really?
On purpose?
On purpose?
Can you even get
two states?
Can you even get that year round? That's nasty.
Yeah, you can.
I'm gonna tell you guys. I know.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Listen, you're gonna hear me.
Don't say it.
Because I did not like candy corn up until I had candy corn Oreos, and I was like, man, these Oreos are fucking good. So I never had candy corn before in my life until I had candy corn Oreos. Right? So one day I decided, let me try this candy corn, and it tastes just like the Oreos. I was like, this is not as bad as everybody's saying it is. What is going on? That was like, it was really good.
Okay. I will take your word for that.
Try that.
I'm disappointed.
Try candy corn Oreos, and you'll see. You'll be like, yeah, they're not that bad.
I'm disappointed in you. But I'm disappointed in you, and I'm disappointed in America because some of these candy choices are terrible. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying?
Jamal's saying here in Vegas they want to make every theater a luxury venue with cheap recliners and charge 20% more. They've kind of done that with a lot of the theaters here. Like a lot of theaters here have the recliners. I'm not sure what you mean by cheap recliners though. So like, what's going on with you guys over there in Vegas where they're cheap? Because ours are the theater seats basically, and the little recliner, and it's better. I actually like that better when I go to a theater now, and the assigned seating and all that good stuff. That to me is what makes the theater experience more worth it now.
So Mike Oliver just kind of broke it down, right? Mike Oliver just broke it down. He's like, when I go into the movies, you would think I'm wearing Batman's utility belt. I got Twizzlers in the front, M&M's on the side, Nerds on the left, and since I'm from Florida, Dum Dums in my socks. Like, dude, like, do you got cavities like everywhere? Like, what's going on, man? You need to see a dentist like right away.
So you got dum-dum with some dum-dums. Pull down up the pants like, I got lemon, I got watermelon, I got that question mark flavor that nobody knows what it is.
It's pretty much that episode of Boondocks, man, when they was going to the theater.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Man. Oh, look who liked the stream. It's our good friend Kim. What's up? What's up, Kim? How are you? So let's move right along to some other good topics. So the Joker is coming out on Friday. All of us are going to be migrating to see it. We're not going to be able to see it all together because of work obligations. But we're going to get together and we'll all be commiserating our thoughts on it. But some of the reviews are starting to come out. For the most part, they're mostly positive. There are, of course, a few negatives. It's sitting right now at 77% certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes for those of you that care about that sort of thing. So that's another win in DC's column, and another blow to the whole bias argument that people have about Rotten Tomatoes.
Hold on, so it's sitting at a C, basically. What happened to all this great 8-minute standing ovation and all this, critics falling all over themselves? It's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you all about that. I'm only here to share the news and report the facts, and to give my opinion based on those facts. So
I never buy into those early applause reviews.
Me either. You can't, because the biggest culprit, or the biggest time I got hoodwinked with the whole early reactions and reviews was Batman vs Superman. I learned never to trust him ever again after that. Ever.
You know what? Batman v Superman is starting to just be just Thanos in its own right. It just cannot live with your failure. Where did it bring you back to me?
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you guys, there's been a whole lot of controversy surrounding the Joker. The Joker film. The New York Police Department said they're going to be having extra patrols around movie theaters when it comes out. There's already been some reports of phoned in shooting threats for some of the early screenings that are getting ready to happen. I think as early as tomorrow. I don't know what to make of that. I hope that none of that really does happen. But what I do want to ask is, do we think that the the controversy surrounding Joker will help fuel its box office returns.
It probably will, because as we've always spoken about it, it's a excuse me there, a wolf in sheep's clothing. It's already been said by the director of the movie that you wanted to make a movie, a movie that nobody would have gone to see, a artsy fartsy movie. But they had to do something in order to get into the masses' eyes, so they slapped the Joker on it. Mm-hmm. Even has nothing to do with Batman, nothing to do with the original Joker, nothing to do with anything.
That's not technically true. I mean, it doesn't. It has something to do with Batman a little bit. Thomas Wayne is in the film, and I guess there's something that happens with it. I don't know exactly what that would be, because I haven't seen the film yet. But that isn't totally true.
Because all the other ones are saying like it has nothing to do with Batman at all. It's a standalone movie and blah 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 blah. And the director quoted saying he was trying to get it in people's to get people to see it. How else would you get people to see it?
Okay, so you say it will, fuel it.
I think people are going to go see it. It's going to give them. People are going to go see it.
Do you think they'll see it more because they want to see what all the noise is about, or do you think they'll see it because they're genuinely interested?
You got both groups. Both groups. You got the groups like me. I want to know. I want to see what the noise is about. I would see it because it's a DC related film, comic book related film. Had it done more of being part of the comic book movie. Not necessarily comic books, but more of the universe. If they even would have tried, I would have gone to see it, because I'm gonna be there to see the one that's coming out in February, which we're gonna talk about if we didn't talk about it already. But
no, we haven't talked about it.
No, because I like to go see those type of movies and I want to see what it's about. But the whole Joker thing, I kind of want to see, why this movie has been greenlit and why they got to throw the Joker's name into it, and make my opinion about it.
All right, so what about you, Father Marvel? Do you think the controversy will fuel the film box office positively or negatively, and do you think it will be sustainable? And,
as history has shown us, controversy does seem to benefit said subject a lot of the time, more often than not. So when it comes with it being such a big name and it being attached to such an iconic character, i.e. Batman, there is very little reason for people not want to see this movie. Like, honestly, I don't see, if people are that much invested in the comic book lore, and of course, we have a lot of Joker fans out there, Batman fans as well. Of course, they're gonna want to go to see this and see what it's about. Oh, so now then, of course, you got the controversies like, oh, this movie may be promoting violence and all this or whatever. Well, considering that this movie is akin to a certain Scorsese film that apparently, from what I heard with the reviews, has taken a lot of inspiration from Taxi Driver, which was also a controversial movie. And this was, over 40 years ago. So it's kind of like the same thing, different day sort of thing. You put a lot of spotlight on something. Oh, this is like this may or may not be the reason for X, Y, and Z. Of course, when it comes to anything Batman related, with supposed shootings, it kind of Dark Knight Rises kind of has that dark cloud over it because of the opening weekend thing that happened. So, you kind of got that to go along with it. But honestly, all it is, the movie itself is a character study. It's not glorifying anything. It's a more realistic portrayal of the likeness of a character. I'm not going to say he's like the legit Joker, but obviously they're using that motif and they're trying to build a story around it and do a character study. And let's face it, America's been fascinated with this kind of stuff for decades. I mean, why do we keep getting documentaries and biopics of serial killers? This is a fictional character. I mean, at this point, it's not really that much of a surprise. I don't see what the controversy is about. It's just something popular. They're trying to stick, a subject to something with a big name and milking it for all it's worth. That's how I look at it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. GQ, what's your take?
The controversy might fuel something. Yeah, it is what it is. But I just want to know if guests get to keep these. That's the only thing I really, really want to see happen in that movie. Other than that, they can have the rest of the movie. But yeah, the controversy might sell some tickets. But at the same time, you might run into some people that might be scared to go to the theater because they're worried about it getting shot up.
Yeah, and I don't know how valid, a lot of that is. I'm sure a lot of it is probably from those loser pranksters that love, kind of, stirring the pot just because they can. I have very little regard or respect for people that choose to do that type of stuff. But I guess we're not going to speculate on whether the film is good or not. That's not our place. We haven't seen the film yet. We don't really know. I share many of Dido's sentiments about the purpose or the need for such a film, but I digress. I will still go and see it anyway. But I'm of the opinion that the film, the controversy could, in the long run, hurt its box office take, especially if it comes out and the general audience has a very bad reaction to it. I could see this film nosediving like pretty bad. That has nothing to do whether we think it's a quality film or not. I'm just saying that if the general public's reaction to this film is overtly negative, I don't see that film lasting long. And again, back to Dido's point about what the director said, he literally wanted to make a movie about the social commentary of probably our society in general right now, and juxtapose it, or not necessarily juxtapose it, but slap a popular IP's name on it, and then hopefully it'll get some results. Because I there was a review that I shared just yesterday that I was promptly attacked over, that kind of eloquently put some of the points that I said, and even that Megashawn was saying about this film, that basically said that if Warner Brothers wanted to make this film, wanted to make a dark and gritty movie, this is a quote from from a review that I shared from Collider. It says, quote, if Warner Brothers wanted to make a dark and gritty movie about madness in society, they didn't have to put it behind the DC logo. But they know they can't sell it without pre-existing IP. With Joker, both parties get to pretend they're part of something courageous and daring, and that's the biggest joke of all. Now, I find that to be not necessarily a knock on the quality of the film, but more or less an explanation on exactly what the motivations of Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix was behind making such a film. So, but we'll see. We'll see. Most people say it's a good film, but the ending kind of leaves something to be desired. So we'll let you know our thoughts on Joker next week when after we've seen it on next week's show, and getting more deeper into October and horror and stuff like that. So make sure you stay tuned for that. So moving right along. So obviously yesterday was another film came out, and that was another film trailer came out for Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Now, I've got a lot to say about this film, and I've been waiting to say it. So, but I want everybody else to kind of give us let's give your impressions of the trailer as it is right now. So, GQ, you saw it. What did you think of this trailer? Your honest thoughts. What did you think of the trailer?
The trailer doesn't really have me excited to see the movie, and that's not a good thing because the poster already had me really just kind of like not excited. So if you go from a bad poster to a bad trailer, it's just like you guys aren't really selling this to me. Now, granted, it might not be for me. Who knows? But I think the issue I have with this particular trailer is, it may as well just be called the Harley Quinn movie because you've got other characters that are in there and they're getting their little glamour shots and showing, their little poses and stuff. But it's like, do these other characters do anything? Because it is called Birds of Prey, and I'm not really digging the Black Mask take that I'm seeing out of the trailer. Now, granted, maybe they switch things up, who knows? But it seems like Black Mask is either infatuated with Harley or she did something and he wants to kill her. But it's like, I don't know. I need to either see more, or I just need to see the movie and figure out if they just completely screwed it up or not. Because from what I'm seeing so far, it's not looking all that great. And that's sad to say, but it's the truth.
Okay. What was your take on it, Dido?
Well, so I watched it, and kind of much like GQ is saying, it just seems like it. I don't know. It's like I know of Harley Quinn from the years of Batman, the animated series, and her involvement. They start making her a more and more popular character, and I think it's kind of, I don't know. It just seems like it's too soon for her in the movies to be separated from the Joker. I understand why they're doing it, because the Joker is a very abusive partner, I guess you would say, and has been for damn near 20 years in the comic books. And somebody saw that happening in the comic books and decided, we should separate that in the movie theater. But it just seems like the connection, I never really got the Joker Harley Quinn connection in the movies, but it just seems like they could have, I don't know. It's just a toughie to even comment on a trailer because I don't know what they're trying to do, but it is basically the Harley Quinn movie, and it's unfortunate that they're going to try to put Birds of Prey on there. It's like, why waste the title? They could have just called it Harley Quinn, because to me it kind of almost looks like, had the Joker become an anti-hero, this is what this movie would be.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's just like swap the Joker for Harley Quinn and make him an anti-hero, and then boom, there you go. Because that's it just, the character development, there's not enough of it for her to separate. In the comic book, she did make that separation. She teamed up with Poison Ivy, and from my understanding, her and Poison Ivy are a thing and have been for quite some time, because they had that character development leading up to that breakup, split up, blah. But this DC has not created any character development for anything in their cinematic universe. It's too soon. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna go see the movie because I am interested in seeing most action movies in the theater, and I want to support comic book movies because I want to see more of them made. And hopefully, I'm just hoping for the day that DC gets their Kevin Feige and they stop, because I think DC is full of Ike pill muters or whatever, tons of them, and that's why DC fucking sucked. And Marvel would have fucking sucked if Ike Muter had his way, because he's a piece of shit. And I'm really glad that you had a Kevin Feige and a Bob. Is his name Bob Iger?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If DC gets their Ikes out of the way, then maybe they'll create something that is worthy of going down in history as being great comic book movies. But I'm having a hard time being excited like GQ for the Harley Quinn movie, and I don't know. We'll just see. I'm gonna go. I don't know. I don't know if I want to go pay $15 to see it or go pay $5.99.
There you go. All right, Father Marble, your quick thoughts.
Well, how I view Harley and Friends, the trailer, is just that. The movie is essentially Harley Quinn and her supporting cast, and I kind of have an issue with that because, just like what Dido said, they don't have enough character development to get to this point where now she wants to be emancipated. Now, granted, they're trying. It seems to me like they're trying to be current with the current comic books, story arcs and stuff or whatever. But once again, it's just like, oh, she broke up from the Joker. Why is that? While all of a sudden you were like head over heels for this man, like, and he apparently was head over heels for you because they romanticized the hell out of their relationship in Suicide Squad. So, but I mean, just it's like when I see this trailer, I keep thinking about like the early stages of this movie before it was being made. Originally, this was supposed to be Gotham City Sirens. And part of me feels like they should have just stuck with that. That, to me, that would have made more sense. Just stuck with just either stick with Gotham City Sirens or just make it a Harley Quinn standalone film. One or the other. That would make sense. Every other character in this movie just seemed like they all just take a backseat to Harley. And it's kind of funny considering that, to my knowledge, Harley has never been a part of the Birds of Prey.
Right.
So that kind of makes me feel a certain way considering that Black Canary is going to be taking the back seat. Huntress more than likely is going to be taking the back seat. And everybody else that I've seen in the trailer so far, like I don't know what they're supposed to bring to this. I don't get it. And also to piggyback off what GQ was saying with Black Mask, granted, this is supposed to be him before the mask, but I'm not sure if I'm feeling the characterization that they're going with early on, because it was like that one little snippet in the trailer where it's like he's breaking down emotionally about, and I'm like, wait, hold on, whoa. What is this with? I don't know. Like, I don't know where they're going with this. I really don't, because I'm more used to how Black Mask is like within the last few years. If any of you have seen my live reaction to it, like I addressed this, but I'm not feeling this direction that they're going with when they're essentially trying to use basically what they're doing is they're using a team to boost Harley, and they're using that's what it is. It's just it's used to boost Harley to be an even more popular character, especially with her. I don't like has the animated series where it started on DC streaming servers yet?
No, it's not started yet. It's supposed to come out, I think, after Titans season 2 is over. Which, that brings up a whole other thing.
Like
why is it they can't? Though. Yeah, why is it they can't seemingly run more than one original programming show at one time? It's like first it was Titans season 1, then next it was Doom Patrol, then it was Swamp Thing, and then now it's Titans season. Then it was also Young Justice. Now it's I don't know. It's just
how many shows they got on their streaming service? For example, Netflix has thousands. Hulu has probably thousands. All the other streaming, do they get like just 12 shows streaming? I think is what
original
sounds like. No, just how many shows? Period. Like what else is on there?
All of their movies. All of their movies, all their classics.
DC movies, okay.
Yep. Yeah. Batman the Animated Series is on there.
How many DC movies? So it's all the Batman movies,
all the Superman
movies, which is what 4 of them, 5 of them.
Crappy ones like Jonah Hex and
even the crappy ones. Swamp Thing on there. So it's just all the DC stuff. So there's what, maybe 50 movies.
You got Justice. You got Batman the Animated Series. You got Batman Beyond. Both of those HD remastered. For
Superman, I assume.
Superman is not on there yet.
How is Superman animated series not on there yet?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Wait. This is which service?
The DC service.
DC Universe
probably has 100 streaming shows.
Hold on. Here's the worst part of this, and again, this goes back to my argument against streaming for a lot of stuff. You just named off stuff that I can literally walk over to my cabinet and
I agree.
Grab.
Yeah, I agree.
I literally have everything that they offer, with the exception of Titans, and I bought Titan season 1. So it's like, why do I need to give y'all? What was it again? $12 a month for them?
$7.99.
Oh, I'm sorry, $7.99. Why? For stuff that I really, truly, actually already have all of it.
Mm-hmm. No, you don't need it. For people like you and I, we don't need it. But for others
that's why it's a hard sell, man.
Yeah, it is a hard sell. But anyway, I digress. Let's get back on topic. So you guys are all bringing up the same stuff that pretty much that I was saying. So the question needs to be asked: Is this movie? And I was giving them credit for the longest time, but is this movie now typical Warner Brothers / DC behavior? Whereas they have zero faith in anything that is not an established IP. Like, because when you title this movie Birds of Prey, we're looking for a Birds of Prey movie, not a Harley movie disguised as a Birds of Prey movie, because that's exactly what this film is. It's a Harley movie. So to you guys' point, had they just named this movie Harley Quinn, fine. Or if they had just named this movie Gotham City Sirens, fine. But no, they purposely said, we're going to name this movie Birds of Prey because it's, for whatever reason, I don't know. Gotham City Sirens, I guess, didn't fit with, I don't know. I just don't get it. But, the average person doesn't know what Birds of Prey is. But if they did have the DC service, they could actually watch that old bad Birds of Prey TV show that was on in the early 2000s.
Like we wind up like having a trash movie coincide with a trash TV series.
Man, look.
Here's the thing on that though. them relying on a established IP is nothing new. I mean, every studio does that. There's no doubt about that. I mean, look at Disney.
Wait. I disagree, and I brought this up before because Marvel did it with Guardians of the Galaxy. Nobody knew who the hell they were. Didn't have anybody else starring them. Or starring with them, and that went fine. Ant-Man was the same deal. Nobody knew who the hell Ant-Man was. Same deal.
No, Ant-Man piggybacked off of Age of Ultron, and Guardians of the Galaxy was basically, I'll give you credit on that one, but at the same time, Guardians of the Galaxy would have never been made if not for the success of Avengers. So...
Okay, I get you. But by that same token, right, you had Aquaman make $1 billion. You had Shazam, which had favorable reviews, even though it didn't make a lot of money because it was sandwiched in between Captain Marvel and Avengers Endgame, and literally nobody, the whoever set up the scheduling for that film should just get shot. For real.
No, it's not their fault. It's Disney locked down the year.
No, they should just get shot because
you
don't put Shazam.
Okay, what other time could you have put that out? Because Disney didn't leave any room.
Earlier in the year, like you could have put it out last holiday.
August.
Like we're talking
what came
before
out this month? August. It's not August anymore. It's October.
This guy.
No, but let's just be real. Like this year, what other time could Shazam have come out? Shazam didn't have another window.
It could have come out in February. Like really? It could have. Yeah, it could have come out in February.
Okay, I could have sworn that was pretty close to when it came out.
No, it came out in March.
No, it came out in March.
Okay, it
literally came out the same month Captain Marvel did.
Yeah, I understand that, but the thing is, Disney didn't leave room. That movie would have came out in February, short month already, and it would have ran into Captain Marvel anyway.
But I think against Captain Marvel, it might have had a little bit of a better chance. Maybe. I digress. I digress. Go ahead. Go finish your point.
Before the end of. Come on now.
Yeah, I digress. Finish your point. What were you going to say?
Okay. my point on the whole movies, companies do this thing anyway. It's a given that you have to, for today's audience, you need something that they can latch onto, because again, you notice they didn't release this movie as just the Birds of Prey. They put this big, long, ridiculous subtitle on it, The Emancipation of Harley Quinn. So it's just like, okay. And like Fallen Marvel said, she wasn't even part of the book to begin with. So I see what you guys are doing. You can't get away from the bat in any form.
Man, you know how I feel about that.
It's too. But it's at the same time, it's like I kind of get it, because like Hand of Omega said in the chat, Harley is a very popular character. Shining point of Suicide Squad for a lot of people for various reasons. And it's kind of like, well, what else you got to go with? Because Birds of Prey on its own, Birds of Prey essentially is their Guardians of the Galaxy, but they're not handling it in the same way, because they don't want to take a chance on it. Because here's the thing, Guardians of the Galaxy, if you really look at it, by itself would not have been made, except for the fact that they could use that as your Thanos tie-in, your Thanos cameo, your Thanos introduction, for that through line of the story that's being told in the greater narrative. So that's part of the reason Guardians was probably greenlit, is like, okay, we can do this and work in this Thanos MacGuffin thing and push it forward and keep it moving. Birds of Prey, essentially, for a lot of people, would be your Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like most people have never heard of them. They may have known the characters individually, but they don't know about the team and all that other good stuff. So for them to do that, okay, that would have been interesting. But for them, they're like, okay, we can't do this on its own. It's not strong enough. Throw Harley Quinn in there. And that's basically what they're doing. I just don't like the idea of it, because it's like, okay, you're shifting all the focus towards essentially your guest character. And that's what I think why the movie is going to suffer, because it's like, okay, from what I'm seeing, everybody basically, and that poster is probably, that's the reason that poster was made the way it is. Everything revolves around Harley on this one.
Oh, and that's terrible. And I totally agree with you.
I get that, but it's like, for me, it's like, okay, for example, like Fallen Marvel said, Black Mask, from what I'm seeing, I don't even know if he's going to have the mask in the movie. That's one thing that bugs me. He might have it, he might not. I don't know. That would bother me if he doesn't. But to me, like, and I said this last time, the definitive Roman Sionis for me is the one that we saw in Under the Red Hood. Like, I want that on screen. Now, granted, I didn't write the movie, I didn't direct the movie. But if I was saying just what would be interesting to me, Roman Sionis, Black Mask from Under the Red Hood would be perfect on screen. And I could, like I said, Ewan McGregor doesn't strike me as the guy that could do it as well, but he could at least try. But again, the movie's already filmed, so we're kind of done there.
We're stuck with what we got.
Yeah,
and it's kind of funny, like, to what you said earlier about like what this movie essentially supposedly being their quote unquote Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's just funny because this is essentially their second try, because Suicide Squad was supposed to be their Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well,
and it was like, and it kind of was, but at the same time, it still was like, it's just like Suicide. This first movie, you kind of have to just take it as it is. It's just like, it was like, okay, it was there. Y'all did the misdirection with the Joker, and what we got was just like, okay, y'all was just really just trying to really hammer these out to try to build up this DC universe as quickly as possible. And it didn't pan out, so let's try this again. But again, we're getting the sequel to Suicide Squad again in a couple years. So it just kind of like makes me think like, okay, where will this movie stand, if at all, if this is the route that they're going with? Because it's like, okay, you break up with Joker, somehow you make it out of Task Force X. I don't see how you manage that, but I know like Joker broke her out, but still, it's just like, okay, but so I don't know. It's just, that's kind of like one of the things that's bugging me, is like, I'm trying to figure out where is this movie going to stand at the end of it all. It's like, where does it stand? Where does it will it even connect in the future at all?
But I think
I don't know.
You know what I think? Because it's starting to get to the thing is it's just I think DC is just putting movies out there. They're not trying to connect at all. Just we're gonna put a movie out here and we might do this. It just drives me insane that this fall they're gonna do the Crisis on Infinite Earth, and their TV show is doing exactly what we wanted their movies to do. Mm-hmm. Exactly, because they own all the goddamn characters. They can freaking make contracts to get these freaking actors that played people to come back. They could literally do, but they don't. So I just don't think
no kidding. Care. Like the Crisis on Infinite Earths is like quickly approaching must-see TV event status. Like this is going to be literally this might be the best live action anything that Warner Brothers will ever produce or has ever produced.
Have they announced what it's going to be though, in the sense of is it going to be like the usual crossover 4 episodes, or is it actually going to be a true
it's going to be
made
5
for TV movie?
I think it's going to be more like the latter, much like remember Crisis on Earth X was kind of like what you're saying, because Crisis on Earth X it was like all the characters were in everything together. Like it wasn't like, okay, we're gonna go to your show and it's primarily gonna take place with your show's characters and so on and so forth.
Right.
Everybody was blending together with every single episode. And I think it's gonna be more like that. And it's supposed to take place across 5 episodes, with the first 3 parts acting as the winter finale, like for the entire Arrowverse in general. And then the first 2 episodes after they come back from winter break will be the finale of the crossover, or the finale of the Crisis. So they're going to be stewing for like a month and waiting with the crossover.
That does
and
not
then
make
come
me
back.
happy.
They're gonna do reshoots during that month after they get gauge the pulse of the audience. But no, okay, that's fine. I mean, it's basically like the first 5 episodes of G.I. Joe and Transformers. Then, yeah, that's basically what we're getting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no. As far as this movie goes, and the reason why I call it, the Harley Hoodwink, was because of everything that we've been saying. But how many of you are getting Suicide Squad vibes from this movie, and in all of the bad ways that Suicide Squad vibes can come from it?
I honestly been feeling that ever since I saw the first poster. Like the first poster to me was a giveaway, and they literally, how many more teaser posters did they release like after that? Like 4, I think, with just all featuring Harley, and
all featuring Harley.
And it's just like, wait, but it's supposed to be a team up movie though, right? It's just it's just like, again, they're using the standout performance that they have left because Will Smith isn't coming back. So at least as far as we know, but we know he's not going to be in the sequel of Suicide Squad 2. So whatever. So all they have left is Harley at this point. And it's like, okay, we need to make a movie around her. Okay, just make it her title, be done with it. But I don't know. I'm not feeling it either. I'm definitely getting the same, is like you said, I'm getting somewhat the same vibe I got from the original Suicide Squad, and definitely not in a good way. I'm just not, because it's like, I don't understand like why this team is birds of prey when it's like, I haven't even was there even a mention of the name of the group at all, period? Like, I hadn't heard Harley like 3 times in the trailer. It's just it's
all about Harley.
For all intents and purposes, this is a Harley Quinn film. Like
it pretty much is. I think honestly, we might have, who knows, maybe trailer 2 or whatever might show a little bit more. But yeah, this first trailer is like, dude, man, y'all are going hard on this Harley Quinn thing, and it's just
man.
It's like, okay, I get it, but damn, like y'all got them other characters in there as an afterthought.
Right. To Hannah Omega's quote, from Twitch, he says, "Oh, Montoya is in this." Yes, Rosie Perez is playing Montoya. Rosie Perez is playing Renee Montoya.
I didn't know she was still alive.
Rosie Perez.
That's terrible, Dino.
Rosie
She
Perez.
disappeared from my vision since White Man Can't Jump. I haven't seen her in anything.
Life, man.
Right. Now, the other thing I was going to bring up is Mike Oliver's comment, which was pretty hilarious. He said, Homelander should make a cameo. Just saying.
Wow.
That would be great, actually.
Wow.
That would be great, actually. That would be awesome. But no, man. I mean, I think I don't know, man. I was giving Warner Brothers a bunch of credit for some of the direction they were taking. I was always kind of iffy about Joker before it came out, based purely on my feelings of does this movie even have a purpose? And I was holding out hope that Birds of Prey might actually turn around based off of that first teaser trailer that they had, where it kind of just showed quick clips of everybody and stuff like that, and there wasn't this hyper focus on Harley. But ever since then, oh my goodness, dude! Like with this trailer, I'm just getting all kinds of bad.
And Tony Young brought up a really good point. He said pointed out that Barbara Gordon has not been established in the DCEU, and she was the founder of the team.
That's right.
So
That's right.
Oh, it's Harley now, so.
Yeah,
I guess so.
I don't know, man. It's just obviously we're making snap judgments based off of what we've seen on the trailer. We have no idea what the actual movie will end up being like, but part of our job as fans is to react to things that we are presented with. And I have to say that what we've been presented with so far isn't really stoking the fires of interest. So
I mean,
so
to
we'll
our
have to wait and see.
we haven't exactly been wrong with our assumptions.
I mean, I think we're not exactly batting 1,000, because I thought Titans was going to be trash like altogether, and I'm actually really liking season 2 quite a lot. So,
but rewind back to season 1. I mean, it was
season 1 was
that was
season 1 was a fair assessment. You are right about that. Season 1 was a fair assessment, sure. So I don't know, man. We'll have to see with this whole Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey movie, and we'll have to see what shakes out with that. Yeah, no, it definitely is Harley and Friends. So that's kind of all we had on the show today. Was there anything else you guys wanted to kind of mention or talk about before we wrap up the show?
They not very small news, but I actually heard with all the change up going on with Sony Interactive Entertainment, apparently they've given the go ahead for cross-platform play for all developers.
That's actually pretty big, really, if you think about it. Because so what they're saying, like some of their platinum IPs, like we're talking Spider-Man, we're talking God of War, will get the go ahead to develop for other platforms.
No, not like that, but just games that are the multiplayer. They have cross-play platform. That means they'll be able to play with Xbox and Nintendo players.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're talking
they caved and decided to let people play together.
So we're talking like Rocket League or Fortnite or
Rocket
PUBG?
League. Pretty much, as far from what I can tell, pretty much any game that's multiplayer is
multiplayer.
Cross-platform.
Oh, so like even 2K? Like if I wanted to have 2K and play Mega Sean in 2K or something like
developers, that? So, hey.
Whoa, that actually could be pretty cool. Actually, if you think about it, if you have cross-platform play like in Battlefield or the upcoming Call of Duty Modern Warfare. By the way, does anybody download that beta and try that? The Modern Warfare demo? I was wondering how that game shake up.
No.
I know that's not necessarily up your alley. But here's something that is
up. The Call of Duty I ever played was Modern Warfare 2, and that was for one level and one level only.
Oh yeah, I already know which level he's talking about. So hey, but Dido, remember this project, and I think I shared it in the chat if you remember it or not. But remember that game Indivisible?
Yeah. I played the demo many years ago.
Yeah. Well, apparently, it is launching next week Tuesday.
Well, that's about time.
Like finally, like it's finally launching next week Tuesday. Like if you guys have never played Indivisible before, I don't even think the prototype is still on the PlayStation Store, but it showed a lot of promise, this game, and honestly, I can't wait to play it when it comes out next week. But I should probably start doing something like Dido and like, because I bought Deus Ex like a couple of years ago, haven't played it. I bought The Witcher a couple of years ago, haven't played it. So I kind of really need to get on the ball and playing some of these older games that I haven't played yet. I know I make fun of you, Dido, for
everybody's done. If you're a gamer, well, I can't say that because there are some gamers out there that are very fine tuned to what they're playing and have small collections, but the ones who let that shit get out of control, I think there's more of those than the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, I've become a double Dido. I collect games and movies that I haven't played or watched.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna. I saw it on GOG Games. I'm not sure if it's gonna be available on the other platforms or not anymore. We'll have to see. But I'm gonna share the link in the game for you guys to see. It's gonna be $39.99 apparently. It's gonna be available on the Switch, Switch and Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Initial release date October 8th. 2019. It's supposed to be coming out. So that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. Indivisible is one of those games I was hoping would come out.
I get it when it's $20 or less. Yay! Because by that time I probably have finished some more stuff.
Wow. All right. Anyway, guys.
Right now, so
yeah. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you all for joining us on this episode of Culture Junkies Live. We had a great time entertaining you. We hope that you will, come back and join us next week for our next show. The fall TV season will be in full swing, so we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll also be talking about the month of October and obviously we know that what the month of October means. It's Horror Fest Palooza or whatever. So I've never been a big horror fan, but Super Nerd Plus certainly is. I think Fallen Marvel, you're into horror a little bit too.
I love me some horror movies.
Very little.
And Dido does too. So
very little, not a lot.
So yes,
I love me some horror movies.
Man, you love as cheesy as they can get too, right?
Cheesy, good ones. I'll sit down and watch all of them. I just got a list from our old pal Autumn, because she was talking about watching movies I think it was like every day, and I was like, just give me a list, and she broke down like 30 freaking movies. Some of them I've seen already, which is okay, and I'm gonna check out the other ones if I can find them, most definitely, because I do love me some horror movies. I do.
Hey, everybody out there, give Mike Oliver, give him some love and follow him, because he said he needs some followers. He's one of our top fans. So,
all right,
yes, he is a top fan.
Send some followers Mike's way.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? Let's go follow good old Mike. He's always been good to us. He's a faithful watcher of the program. So he deserves some love, and so do all you other Culture Junkies out there. So anyway, like I said, we're gonna wrap up the show now and go ahead and get out here and let you enjoy the rest of your evening. For my friends, Fallen Marvel, Dido Kuji, and the great NGQ, I am Kishiro. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out now.
Peace, y'all.
Stay solid, not liquid.
I'm sure that's a poop joke of some kind, right?
Probably.
I don't know. You kind of just take that however you